friends, this is Grace and welcome to my channel and welcome to the October for the Love of Crafting and Sharing YouTube blog hop video from me. So this month the theme is to use dies, and I just wanted to show you the way I'm storing my dies right now before I go and kind of give you a kind of the plan that I have for this particular layout. So these are all my dies. As you can see, I'm getting to the end of this container. This is a very old container. I got this at Target, many years ago, when there used to be like baskets for only $1 or like 2 for $3 or something like that. So this just fits perfectly, and it's in my little cubby that I have right next to my table. And these are all my dies. But as you can see, even if they're thin wafer dies, I'm running out of room. So I got to figure out a way in order for me to either I have to purge or that I have to get a bigger container. But so those are all my dies right here. And the ones that I picked are my nested hexagons, my nested stars. I'm thinking of maybe using the grass for a border, and then this wonderful right here as part of my title. And then I have this remember die. Maybe I could put that as like an accent. And then I have, so I used to design for a die company called Diversions. And so we would get the dies without the packaging because we would get it like before it gets before it's ready to be shipped to people. And so when I would get my dies, I would just put them in these CD protectors. So if you have like loose dies, maybe this is something you could consider. And I actually combine my stars and my snowflakes together just because, you know. And I never bothered cutting them apart because I can easily just, you know, run them in my die cut machine easily this way. So I'm going to use some of these stars, and then I also have this all-star circle die that I'm planning on using. So those are the dies that I am considering using. Don't know how many of them will actually go into my finished layout, but that's the plan. So I have I'm going to do a 2-page spread, and my plan is to use this hexagon and create like a hexagon on the top and on the bottom, and then my photos will be in the center. So because the main design, the main color rather, that's gonna be on my layout was, besides the photos, will be the hexagons and the accents, I decided to use some scraps. And I'm going to try, that's the key word here, try to like stay within just a handful of colors, because I noticed, you know, I love rainbow, and that's fine, but I kind of want to narrow down my color scheme sometimes. So I'm gonna kind of, I'm looking at my pictures here, and I have some black, I have white, there's blue over here in my son's helmet, and then maybe a yellow because of this the vest over here, and then green. So I'm gonna try to stay within that color scheme: blue, black, green, and yellow. And most of the colors again will come from the cut hexagons. And then I also thought that maybe I could add a big star right here. So I'm going to use the biggest star and then use that to house my title, which will be in part all star and then wonderful on the top. So that's my plan right now. I hope that you'll stick around and see the process. And again, this is a hop, so make sure that you check out the links that I have down in the description box below so you can watch all the rest of the ladies, and we will get on to making this layout. All right, so onto the layout. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create my frame all around my page because I feel like that will be faster for me. Oh, I guess I didn't do that here. Oh, I guess I did. Sorry, it's been a while since I created this layout. So I did cut some striped paper, just a 1/4 inch thick, and I'm going to use that as my frame. I did make it small or skinnier just because I feel like I want to provide a lot of space for those hexagons. Now,
for some reason, I felt like my hexagons could overlap each other like nicely, and it did from the sides, but not on the like it. They match up from the corners, but not from the sides. And so I'm going to discover that here really quick and maybe figure out something along the way. So now that I have my left side, I decided that I'm going to adhere the papers now, the cut hexagons. And then this is when I discovered that it can go from sides, but it can't, like, they don't nestle really well. So now I have this kind of really small square in between that's open. And I'm going to kind of not think about that right now and just lay down my hexagons. And I did pre-cut a lot of these off camera, again, just using the pattern papers. I did manage to stay within the color schemes. I feel like that was a win for me because I don't normally stay within the color scheme. I kind of like all over the place in the rainbow, but I did managed to stay within the scheme, the color palette that I was planning on, and so I'm happy about that. Now I'm just kind of course, I'm trimming some of those that will just not work or would overlap my frame because I want the frame to be all around it. And then now that it's all finished, as you can see, I'm pointing out to the squares. So what I did was I measured the inside of it and then just cut some green paper to go in there to work perfectly. And I did cut some of them smaller just because they're going to be on the edges. And I needed some more, so I'm cutting out, I think I cut like a 3/4 inch, maybe just a little bit smaller. As you can see, I'm just eyeballing it. And then I'm gonna fill in the rest of that. And that actually fit just perfectly inside. I wish that my my shapes would have worked well on the sides, but you just run along with you know go with go with the flow kind of thing. So now I'm filling that in, and I did adhere all my photos as well. I had some other pictures from this event, and they were horizontal. And I felt like, I don't know, I like that all of them are vertical so I can line them up in the center. And so I went with that. And the other pictures, it's not like the story wouldn't be told if I don't add those other ones, so it's okay. And so I just left that be. And part of me was thinking, well, maybe I can use some die cuts to cut shapes out of it, but nah, I just went with this one. And then I did cut out, so I cut out the star and I cut the word all star. I did cut the word wonderful as well. So overall, guys, I used 7 die cuts into this layout. This is just one layout, which is kind of funny because I love die cuts and I have them, but I rarely, like, I don't use them. I don't use a lot of them in one layout, but with this one it really stretched me, and so I'm really happy with this specific challenge, and I should do this challenge more often just for myself, just so I can use the tools that I spend money on and I don't rarely use them. And so I wanted to use that grass, to just kind of coordinate with the grass in the photos, and I'm going to put that on the bottom. um, and I will use one layer of it. And my thought initially was I was going to put them under, or like on the bottom of the top row of photos, but I didn't like that. I don't know, it just didn't look good to me. And so I'm going to scrap that idea. Well, you're going to see me try it right now. Put them in there, and it just, I don't know, I didn't like it. I don't know, do you guys like it? I don't know. Anyways, and then I thought, well, maybe I can turn it around, and it's like, oh no, that looks even worse. However, I thought of that idea. It's like if I wanted to do some kind of like a spooky house type of thing, I can use this grass for something like that. So I'm hoping that I can remember that trick when I am making a Halloween layout. And so because I have cut all of these grass, I don't want it to go to waste. So I decided to do a double layer on the bottom, and I like that. I really like the effect of that. It makes it look more realistic, because then it's not just one row of grass. There's two of them, so it just looks, the grass just looks fuller to me. So I'm gonna finish that off, and then what else am I gonna do with this layout? I will be adding, so I cut some stars, and I used the nestled stars, and I also used the one that's like a really tiny one that has all sorts of different sizes but smaller stars. I'm going to add that here too. But before that, I did cut out this word remember with same blue paper that I've used in other parts of this layout, and I'm going to add that to the top center of the layout. And then I can't forget my journaling block, so I'm going to add that here. I don't think I ink up the edges. I just adhere it just right on the cardstock. And then I'm going to add the remember, and I'm going to add some of the stars, and I believe I'll add some enamel dots as well, and then call it good. But I hope that you guys like this video. If you're new to my channel, I do this series once a month with a group of very talented scrapbooking ladies that also have YouTube channels, and we get together. My friend Nicole put together some challenges that we were to do every month, and so this month was die cuts, and I just rummaged through my stack of die cuts that I have, and I'm so glad I did, because there were some that I've totally forgotten that I had that I still love, and so I'm just adding them here. I was able to again use 7 different kinds of sets in here, and so that makes me happy and makes me feel like it's not a waste of money to buy all those die cuts. And that's basically going to be it. Thank you so much for watching. If you like these videos, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. And that will be it. Did I talk about the photos? The photos are of my son. He participated in like a youth triathlon about 2 years ago. This is where they do some swimming, some biking, and some running, and it's for our youth church group. And I'm just so impressed at my kids that they're just so, I mean, I would say that they're athletic. I'm sure that there's some better kids or better athletes out there, but compared to me, they're way better. So I'm just so proud of them, and I'm just glad that I get to see them grow and succeed, and face their challenges. So, and this is one of the times where my son was physically challenged. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. There's close-ups at the end, and I will catch you guys another day. Bye.